ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Real Chat Daddy Show. Say good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Wednesday night edition of the Real Chat Daddy Show. I am your host, Chat Daddy. So glad to be back with you guys on Hump Day. Hump Day. We are in the midst of Women's History Month 2022. Tonight, we have another great show planned for your viewing and listening pleasure. In honor of Women's History Month, we'll talk a little bit about famous women in entertainment. And I'm going to talk about the Sister Girls, which I'm sure Kay Renee will chime in on that with me as well, too. And then later on in the show, we'll welcome famed musical artist Mr. John O, who's a native of Harlem, New York. That's where my people are. And he's been in the rap game for over 30 years. Well, he has a new song and video out that pays homage to his hometown idol, Mr. LL Cool J. Speaking of LL Cool J, what was his tagline? LL loves the ladies.
Ladies love Cool James.
Well, amen. Well, speaking of, since you knew that line so well, that's amazing you knew that line. Our co-host, the amazing Miss Kay Renee of Karen's Nuggets of Knowledge. Hello, darling. How are you?
Oh, yes. I love me some LL Cool J, honey. Good
I
Lord
see.
Almighty.
I see. Because you knew that tagline immediately, right?
In a New York minute,
In a
baby.
New York minute. I love it. I do. How are you today, my dear?
I'm good. Happy Wednesday to you. I should say happy Friday because it's our yay.
Yes,
Yay. And
Friday.
even though the weather was not, the sun was out, it was cold, and the temperature is going to drop again.
Again. I think they were saying in the weather forecast that the high is going to be 27 degrees on Saturday. But
The
then
St. Patrick's Day parade.
but
Yes.
the
So
next day is going to be 50 degrees.
see, this is ammonia,
Yes.
Orona,
Yes.
ammonia
Yes.
weather.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. You as grandma say, you're gonna catch it from the top of your head to the tip of your toes. Yes, it
Hello.
is that type of weather. And that's I saw some young people today out flip-flops, no socks on, shorts, all of that. And with the way this weather is changing, absolutely you'll be getting quick to get sick very fast. You know what I'm saying? So
All
what
you
else?
do is just breathe.
Yeah, I know. So how was your day today?
Just been busy, as days are, but I'm grateful to able to get up, praise God, and just keep it moving.
Absolutely. I agree with you. It's been a good week so far, and I'm looking forward to talking to our guests later on in the show. So let's dig into tonight's show because we got a lot to talk to you guys about tonight. Of
Yes.
course, we are a health and wellness show. So each and every evening, we give you guys the latest COVID-19 update numbers. And as I was saying yesterday, they are not giving the numbers per day anymore as much as they're doing a recap of the particular situations. According to officials, the state positivity rate for COVID tests is now at 1.2%. This is the lowest level in months, and the state is currently averaging 1,113 new cases of COVID-19 per day in the last week. This is the lowest we've seen since July 22nd of 2021. As of Wednesday morning, there has now been a total of 699 COVID patients currently in the hospital in the state of Illinois. This has been the lowest number the state has seen since last July. Of those 118 people who are currently in the hospital, they are in ICU beds, and that's the lowest number since July 20th of 2021. So, it seems as if things are dropping, but I'm also very concerned and worried about everybody being as buck free as they want to be buck free. And here's the deal. I was in someplace public today. You better believe people had masks on. When you walked in the door, they had not removed the sign about taking your mask off. So I don't know. As we said on the show, we are pro mask and we'll be staying in our mask for a while. But, people are free to do what they want to do.
That's right, but you're free to get sick too, so it's your choice.
Yeah, that is true. Now, you know what I find strange is that they're not promoting the booster shots as much as they were. It,
I would like to know the actual number of how many people in the Chicago area have been fully boosted.
oh, I had that number. Matter of fact, I may be able to pull it up. Well, I know it's the state versus Chicago. So I'm
Okay.
sure if you go to the Illinois Department of Public Health, they probably would have that, particular information or number, there of the number of cases.
And that could be the reason why they may not be publicizing as much because it's a higher rate or at least a passable percentage as far as their metrics go. I don't know, but they
Right.
need. I know they still promoting getting the vaccine every. It seems like at least 4 or 5 times a day you'll see a commercial about to get the vaccine, especially here in Illinois.
Right. Debbie Green. Hey, Debbie, good evening and welcome. She says Hong Kong is regressing and they have 78% vaccinated.
Interesting.
Isn't that interesting? So I don't know. We'll see. As I said before, the Monday on the news, the lady from the CDC tried to make it act like, it's just a common thing like a cold or the flu or whatever the case may be. And we said, listen, as you said on the show yesterday, we've lost 6 million people globally from this.
Worldwide. That's a lot.
So that's a lot. It really is. So I don't know. We'll have to see. But now I found this interesting today. Democratic leaders abruptly abandoned the infusion of $15.6 billion for battling COVID-19 pandemic to now clear the way for a House debate and passage of a vast government spending that is to aid Ukraine and European allies.
Yeah,
So,
I heard that too.
yes. So, what are
Cause
your
guess,
thoughts?
cause guess who's in Poland? Our Madam Vice President is in Poland right now. So
Yes,
we definitely send our prayers to her because even though Poland is not at the eye of the storm, is damn near close.
yes, yeah. Well, absolutely, because she's there to welcome refugees and meet them, and
Mm-hmm.
all of that. And so, I don't know. All of this is just crazy. Gas prices. At first you would see the memes joking about how much gas prices are. It's friends of mine who are posting on social media how much gas is at the pumps, and I just cannot believe the price. Premium $6, $7.
And here's the thing too. When you go to the gas station, you better be careful because we talked about, unfortunately, a security guard here in Chicago was shot and killed. She was just getting gas so she could pick up her children. And so
Right.
I don't care where you are, folks are
Hmm.
crazy
Yep. You're
everywhere,
absolutely right.
not just here in
You're
Chicago.
right. You're absolutely right. All right. Well, Scorpio Love has actually come up with how many people in Illinois are fully vaccinated. So that would be
Okay.
8,151,688 people. So that's not bad. What is our population? You know what I'm saying?
That's why I want to know the total population of Illinoisans. So I
Yeah.
like to
Right.
find out what the percentage is, right? But the
Yes,
8 million,
I agree.
not bad.
Yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad. Here's a friend of mine. Hey, Charisma. Good to see her on here tonight. She said they could use that money to wipe out people's student loan debt. Hello? Look, hello,
Hello.
hello, hello. Right. We agree with you
Hello.
on yeah,
Give me a
hello.
call.
Look, girl, can you hear me now? Look, can y'all hear me? Right, I agree. It's just so sad to me that a war would have to break out, and what people are not realizing with this war, it affects everything. I was listening to a news story today that says even your eyeglasses have some form of petroleum in them, and now if you need to get a new pair of eyeglasses, they're going to be much higher, and eyeglasses are already expensive. So
Okay.
every they said from the containers your food come in, to like you get a thing of blueberries in the plastic container. All of that is related to petroleum. And then they were saying, keep in mind, most trucks run on diesel, and diesel fuel is more expensive anyway. It gets
That's
better
right.
burnage, but it's still, so it's not good. We are really in a catch-22 situation.
We just have to, as I say in the show, we got to stay prayerful, y'all.
Right.
Okay, 12
So
million. So let's
12
do the
million.
math here.
Girl, look, Miss Audit and Compliance. Go ahead with your calculator,
Let me
ma'am.
do the math here. Hold on one
Ma'am.
second. Wait a minute. Let me get that number in 12,741,080. Oh, and what was the other number again?
Yeah,
8 million.
I'm finna put it up here. I'm finna put it back up here. Right.
8,000,151.
Oh, well, that's not bad. That's not bad.
Well, that's almost 15%.
Yeah. So that, I mean, I look, I don't know. I'm just telling you.
Mm,
So we'll see. Oh,
okay.
okay. Here's the next answer.
Oh, 63.
63.
Okay. I did the
Okay.
opposite way. Okay.
Yeah.
That's almost
Okay.
64%. That's not
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah, it's
That's
not.
not bad.
It's not. Because if Hong Kong is 78%, that's pretty good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's pretty
Right.
good. That
Okay.
and again, as I said to you, that's probably the reason why they're not promoting boosters because everybody is trying to do their part. Uh oh. Okay.
Blackout for a minute. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I was like, "Ooh, what happened?"
I look the power outage. Look, girl, I had to make sure the light bill was paid. Right.
Okay.
Right. So maybe the light bill, right, hadn't been paid. Okay. So let's go into your news stories for tonight.
Oh goodness, and we got a lot. First and
We do.
foremost, and I was kind of surprised to hear this news story, but we had mentioned this some time ago about the gentleman who had the pig heart.
Yes. Yes.
Well, he was from Maryland. Unfortunately, he succumbed. He had this groundbreaking procedure. David Bennett Sr. was 57, and he received the first genetically modified pig heart and had the pig heart
Yes.
transplant. But he
Mm-hmm.
died 60 days after it was inserted. So,
Wow. And now I feel really bad because I made all them jokes at the end of you delivering the story.
well,
And then a couple of weeks later, you came back and told us that I guess he had murdered somebody.
yeah.
And yeah, yeah. So, I wonder if he bled out like a pig. Okay. All right. I digress. I'm sorry. Bad host. Bad host. But yep. So, that's crazy, though, to make history and to think that that pig heart would, be enough for him to survive. And it didn't. And then to find out he had murdered somebody. I don't know, okay, Renee. I don't know. I believe in karma. You know what I'm
And
saying?
what do I always say? Karma is a
Right.
what? Very
Right.
patient gangster.
Yes, absolutely. Yep. Yes, he died. He
He
did. Uh-huh.
died.
I know what you're talking about. You know what? Yeah, that's me. I'm sorry, y'all. I just had to say it. I'm like, I wonder if he bled out
He
like a
was.
pig. He was a guinea pig. Shut up, Debbie. Shut up. He was. He was a guinea pig.
He
I mean,
was.
you know, right. Yeah. I just, I don't know. I mean, I wonder if he mooed or oinked before he left here. I guess he oinked before he left out of here.
Oh goodness gracious. Okay.
Okay. Next news story. Go right
Okay.
ahead.
Now we were talking about now this almost spring break time and everybody going to Florida, but actually I have two stories regarding Florida. First
Okay.
thing is sad, but this teacher who was hospitalized because she was beaten by a 5-year old. Can you believe that?
I when I first saw the headline, I was shocked. But then once we got into the story and it was explained to me a little bit more, I guess the student who did it has developmental
He does.
behavior issues.
Yes.
And I was going to tell you after you delivered your story, I have a story to share to you about. I'm not surprised on that level.
Well, this teacher, a South Florida teacher, she was attacked. She was dazed by the beating, and she got apparently a beat down. This happened in Pembroke Pines, Florida, which is, correct me if I'm wrong, it's a very affluent suburb.
It
Is
is.
that
It's a very
okay?
it's 30 minutes from Fort Lauderdale. It's a very affluent area. And really I call it Mayberry. I know the city very well. But when I say to you, once I found out it was a disabled child or learning disability, I'll explain that whole story. Go right ahead.
Well, apparently the teacher, who is in her late 30s, early 40s, 5'4", and she suffered a concussion and other injuries after the enraged special ed student between 50 and 60 pounds. Now, imagine this, y'all. 5 years old, boy, 50 and 60 pounds. That means he is pretty big. That's a lot of weight for a 5-year-old.
Right.
But apparently he became enraged and he just went. As they say in there's a series on WE called He Snapped. And he
snapped.
literally snapped.
He did. He did. Okay. So go ahead.
No, so I guess she's recovering from her injury. So we just sending prayers of healing to her. And the fact that she really is the type of person that really wants to help children, I felt really bad. But this
Yes.
is not a win-win situation for this story. So, it makes me wonder what caused this young boy to just go off like this.
Okay, so once you told me about the story, I read the story, and then I found out, developmental delays, things like that. We don't know the severity of his disability, but I kind of gather what it is. And I'm actually going to call somebody to find out what the news said about this story. But I had a friend many years ago, and God rest his soul, but he worked at a living facility with people who had, disabilities, much like this young man. And my friend was a very big, bulky guy. He worked overnight. He would have to break up fights. He would have to break up them having sex. People oftentimes in that particular position, their strength and their power is greater than what they know. They don't know the limitations of their power. I know of a situation where a friend of mine's has a son who is in the same situation, and he bit the tip of her finger off. Right. So yes. So, and from what you're telling me, if this lady was 5'4", and you get what I'm saying? So it could have been, she's a small woman. You're looking at a 50-pound raging young person. And a lot of times they think it's playing when they don't know their force like that. That would be just like a 50-pound bowling ball hitting you. You know what I'm saying?
But he was enraged. So I don't know, how would he, well, maybe he can't tell the difference between being enraged and being playful.
Right. I'm telling you, I didn't understand until my friend told me. I didn't know this. This living home had males and females. He said on an average, several times a night, he has to go and tell them to stop having sex or make sure they're not having sex because of they have a very high sexual absolutely.
Well, now that you say that,
mm-hmm.
I have a family member who
mm-hmm.
is physically, I don't like to use that word,
absolutely.
I don't like to, but I think you know where I'm going with it.
Yes, absolutely.
She's an adult.
Anybody watching this show know what we're saying without saying, because we don't want to be disrespectful.
I love her dearly.
Right.
She's in her 30s. And then when you said that triggered something in me. I'm like, yeah, I remember my other cousin, which is her older sister, saying that she had to have had conversations. So wow.
Yes. Okay. Yes. I never ever knew that until my friend worked there, and he told me. He said, "Man, because I'm thinking, what a cushy job. You just go." He was like, "Are you kidding me?" He was like, "I'm up all night. I'm He said, "I'm breaking them up from having sex. I'm breaking them up from biting each. Just all." And I said, "You kidding me?" He said, "Yeah, very aggressive." So I did learn that early on about that. So once we talked about that story, I better understood the situation.
Well, again, my prayers go out to the teacher and her family. Yes. And actually, my prayers go out to the little boy, because unfortunately, we're in a social media world. As he gets older, and if he still has the cognition to read, and so he's going to know that's about him. And hopefully he'll be able to reconcile that, because that can scar you for life.
Oh, absolutely. Like absolutely. But I promise you, he may not have known even what he was doing, depending on the severity of his condition. And we'll leave it at that. All right. What else do we have in news, my dear?
Well, to carry on with Florida, because seems like Florida has been in the news, especially about this particular story. I don't know how a lot of people feel about this, but I'm gonna say the word. I'm gonna say it all the time. Gay, 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 gay. I don't care. I'm in Illinois, so when I get down to Florida, I'm gonna say gay, 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 gay. Now see what somebody says, because apparently these Republican Floridians, how crazy they are. They passed a bill that's saying don't say gay. What the f is about that? I just don't. I don't get it.
Well, now, from what I understand, it's not teaching young children about homosexuality at a young age. And that's, what I gather from it. I don't think it's like banning gay bars. I don't think it's banning gay parades, any of that type of stuff. Florida is one of the most gayest places I know,
I
but
know.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I think it's more like stop exposing our children to sexual homosexual things before their time, or the school pushing it on them or teaching them about it. So I don't know. I kind of gathered that's what it was, but I could be wrong.
Well, that was the case. Think about till we got to this point. Before our parents became parents,
Right.
were they doing that? I mean, everybody was hiding in the closet. Now
Right.
you should be able to express who you are. I just was like, I saw a lot of different opinions on social media and different professional network
Well,
sites.
Scorpio love says better to teach them
It
early.
is. I agree. I agree. Because then at the time they're going to make a child's going to make their decision as he or she gets older. But you need to
Yes.
tell the truth. What they say,
Right.
tell the truth, shame the devil. You need
Tell
to
the
tell the
truth,
truth.
shame the devil. Yeah. Okay.
I
All
mean,
right.
my mother, my late mother, was a biology teacher, Art, and she gave me a book about anatomy, about sex, and when I had questions, she was honest enough to tell me the difference, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
grateful for that. So,
Right.
you know, Governor DeSantis or DeWattis, whatever I want to call him, he's supposed to sign this bill, but I think what would make a statement, let people don't go to Florida to
Right.
travel. See what happens.
Yes. Yes. Well, did you see where Governor DeSantis, or however you call him, the other day was making a speech someplace, and he was at a high school, and there were high school students standing on the stage behind him, and he told them, take their mask off. Why are you all? It was horrible. It was all on the news. He chastised the children. They were standing there in shock, just, and one boy took his mask off. The others didn't take their mask off, but he scolded the children. Look it up. You'll be very surprised. He
I'm not
scolded the
surprised because
children.
Governor DeWantis is that was one of Orange Head's
Right.
staunch
Yes.
allies. So that doesn't
That's right.
surprise me at all.
Yeah.
But at all.
All
Well,
right. Very good. What else we got in news tonight?
well, it's this was it was shocking. No, it was surprising but not shocking. About Black Panther is coming back. The
Yes, it
sequel,
is. Yes,
and
it
the
is.
director
Yes.
Brian Coogler, excuse me,
Ryan
was
Coogler.
apparently went to a bank like we try to do when we want to, withdraw cash, make a transaction. He passed a little note to the teller saying, "Listen, I need this amount of money. I want to be discreet." Apparently, the teller didn't know what the f she was doing, and he got suddenly arrested. Now, of course, and this is Bank of America. Now, I used to work for banks,
Right.
and I'm gonna tell you, tellers they need to be a little bit more smarter than that. And
Okay, but
after
wait. I'm lost now. I'm a little lost.
what?
He
What you
slid
mean?
her a note.
He slid her a note, like a note, say, he requested a certain amount of money in certain denominations, but he wanted to be very discreet.
I
He
don't know.
withdrew
I mean,
he
I
would
hate to just,
wait.
huh?
He
Okay.
withdrew $12,000 from his account, which I'm sure he had the money,
Right.
right?
Right.
But he also gave the teller a note giving him or her instructions on how this money should be given back to him.
Okay.
And now I'm gonna tell you, and if you go to a bank and you request anything more than $10,000, banks are required to file what's called a CTR, currency transaction report, because they
Uh-huh.
had to report that. Just so y'all know. So when you win
Right.
the lotto, when you win the money, and you want anything over 10,000, just know your name is gonna be sent to the government, and it's required by law, a
Okay.
CTR.
Okay.
So she notified, as a she, notified her superior that she thought that Kugler was robbing the bank. Now, when a bank robber is gonna rob you and they slip you a little note, they'll usually say, "What? All right, this is what I want. This is a bank
Yes.
robbery."
I got a
He didn't
gun.
say
Don't
that.
you press nothing. Don't
Right?
you?
Don't press that. Don't do jack. So he
Yes.
didn't write
Yes.
that. He
Okay.
just said
So
he wanted the amount discreetly. That's all he
right.
said. And they called the men, the policemen and the FBI, and they took him in. And I'm sure when they found out who he was, Bank of America's like, oops.
Right.
And see, this happened in January. This was
Okay.
just recently posted now. So here's what I think. And if it were me, I tell you what I would do. I would, even though he was the Bank of America apologized, said we so sorry. I'd be like, call my attorney and say, look, I want every last MF money out this account and
Right.
go to a different bank. That's
Yeah.
how you handle that.
Right. Okay. So I'm kind of with Debbie on this. Withdrawal slip. I mean, I'm trying to figure out because here's the deal. The last time I went to the bank, bank tellers have changed quite a bit. I'm just gonna put it to you like this. Bank tellers used to look like people like you and I. The last time I went to my particular branch of the bank, you had extended eyelashes. It just, I guess, you don't have a criminal background. They didn't investigated you. You can come to work at the bank, but not as. So I don't know. I'm gonna stay out of this, but I'm kind of like Debbie. A withdrawal slip, and then here's the deal: when they asked me, Mr. Sims, how would I like the money? That's when I would have probably handed the note, but not.
Here's the thing, from the news report, he did write the note on the back of his withdrawal slip.
Okay.
So again,
Oh,
all of
okay.
those,
All right.
and you're right. A lot of tellers don't look like us no more.
No, they do not.
Because in
There's
my
no.
bank, you don't
Yes.
see that many of us become.
Yes.
They're managers, but not
Right.
tellers.
Right, because I'm gonna be
Interestingly
honest
enough.
with you. When coming up, growing up, it would be our mothers, people's aunties that worked at the
Exactly.
bank. Their uncle worked at the bank. People were suited and booted when they went to go work for a bank. When I was in the
Exactly.
bank recently, I'm telling you, the big eyelashes, the stiletto nails, and they were nice, friendly ladies. Don't get me wrong, but it wasn't what I'm used to. I remember, who was it? Barbara Bates or somebody, they used to work at banks downtown. They had to have uniforms on.
Oh
They had to be
yes.
suited and
Oh
booted
yes.
and
Oh
neckties and all
yes.
of that. So,
And see, my career, my beginning, my career worked in banks. So as an auditor, well,
right.
we had to count teller cash drawers and let
Yes.
them be off by a penny. You know what
Oh,
happens, right?
absolutely.
They're
Right.
out the
Yes.
door.
Yes.
So I just feel that the bank was wrong in this. I
Yes.
believe they did not train her correctly,
Mm-hmm.
because I guarantee you, the moment Mr. Kugler stepped into a police office, they knew who he was.
Right.
They had that OS moment, and
Oh,
even though
yep.
he
Oh,
hasn't said
snip.
anything,
Right.
if
Right.
it were me, I would be just as cool
Mm-hmm.
as it's gonna be outside. But you
Yep.
best believe the next day, I'd be like, I want all my money out
Out of that damn.
today,
Yep.
cashier's
Absolutely.
check now,
Yep.
because that would never happen again.
Okay, very good. Well, let's get in one more story before we welcome our guest tonight with us. What else you got in the news bag?
You sent me this story about, speaking of other actors,
Yes,
Daniel Kaluuya. Did I
yes,
say his name right? Oscar
yes.
winning actor Daniel. Daniel. Uh, I guess, there's nothing wrong with having um
He
people
was
by
in
your
Get Out.
side to
He was
help
in Get
you.
Out, right? He was in the
Yeah,
movie
he
Get
was
Out.
in that movie Get Out.
Right.
Well,
Yeah.
apparently he's telling this young lady that she's telling everybody to get out.
Right.
This individual, she calls herself a life strategist, and
Yes.
even her name is suspect. Air Holiness.
Yes.
Apparently, she's his advisor. I think she's his boo thing. I think she is the cuddle buddy boo thing, booty call, all wrapped into one, calling herself a life strategist. But apparently, he is listening to this woman, and every person in his circle, she is ostracized and alienated. So it's just him and her. Something is suspect about this.
Okay, so let's talk about this real quick. If you
Yes.
look at the picture in the story, she is fine. She long hair, got her breasts out, all of that.
Mm-hmm.
He's probably sprung. He looks like the type of guy to me that this type of thing would happen to. And nothing against the brother. He's a great actor.
Yes,
He
he
has
is.
done some great work. I think
Yes,
we
he
all really
has.
got to know him in the movie Get Out. But the
Yes.
thing is he looks like the type of dude that a woman could get over on him and say to him, I mean, we don't know. He may have become famous and never had somebody like that. And then, in this day and age, people are learning to prey on people at an early age.
That's why it's so important to have your tribe that's as strong as you are. It is
Right.
really important now more than ever,
Yes. Yes. Well, we pray
because
for the brother.
anyone can infiltrate you, and by the time you realize it, it is too late. So,
Yep. Well, and everybody is saying in the story that he's a down to earth guy.
mm,
But they saying that this chick is controlling everything. That it made it hard
she
to.
must she must got something, some gold. You know what? Because that's,
Well,
I'm telling you.
now that's what it is. Now, don't act like you don't know. I mean, and this might be the first time he's ever gotten that golden. You know what? You know what I'm saying? It'll make you do weird things. It really will.
I guess so.
All right. Well, for those of you all that are just joining us, welcome to the Wednesday night edition of the Real Chat Daddy Show. So glad that you guys are here with us Wednesday night. It is our Friday. Woohoo! We have another great show planned for your viewing and listening pleasure. March is Women's History Month, and we are celebrating Women's History Month in a big way. We have a guest coming on in just a little bit who he has written a wonderful song and video that is an homage to who, K. Renee? Who is
Ladies
it?
love Cool James Todd Smith. Yes.
So I figured we'll have somebody on tonight to talk about the life and times of the wonderful Mr. LL Cool J. And matter of fact, our next guest is a rap, legend of over 30 years as well, too. Mm-hmm. So we're happy about that. But most importantly, what I need to talk to him about is his latest video about the McDonald's ice cream machines never working.
Okay. And that's very true.
Girl, I just heard on the news today that I guess somebody is filing a lawsuit against McDonald's because they said the machines are never ever working. And then I went on our guest Instagram and he did a video with his son saying the same thing.
Wait, that thing, why not think of that? That's all I'm gonna say.
Right. But I wonder what is that about? You know what I'm saying? And actually, McDonald's ice cream is really good.
I know. That's why they probably filed a lawsuit, because during the summer, especially I think once the pandemic hit and it got hot, I like to go to McDonald's, get that soft serve, and it always broke. I said, God dog it, what is wrong with y'all?
Well, maybe our next guest can help us with that. Not only is he in the rap game and the music business, but maybe he can explain what is going on with the ice cream machines at McDonald's. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to welcome to the show famed artist Mr. John Q, a native of Harlem, New York, right where my family is. He's been in the rap game for over 30 years, and he's here tonight to talk about his new song and video, Classic J.T.S. So now we got to find out what that's all about to celebrate his hometown idol, the one and only Mr. LL Cool J. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show, Mr. John O.
Woohoo!
First and foremost, let me apologize for the lighting.
Okay? Oh, that's okay. That's okay. Look, we can make it where you can be, where we can see you better and everything. Hold on, we got you. Look, we do what we need to do. Okay, that's right. Yes. How you doing tonight?
I am super awesome, man. I'm super awesome. How are you both doing?
We're good.
We're good. We're excited to welcome you tonight. With this being Women's History Month, and of course, the ladies love LL. And when I found out about you doing this, homage to LL, what a perfect guest to be on with us this evening. Do us a favor, introduce yourself, tell the audience about who you are and all the wonderful things you've done, and then we're gonna talk to you about a lot of things, including the ice cream machine at McDonald's. How about that?
Yo, well, first and foremost, I'm not John Q, what you said in the beginning.
I mean, John O. I'm sorry, John O.
I am John O. John O. Nelson. I am Harlemite, rapper, actor, single father, a man that's actually at work right now. But I said I had to come out here and do this, regardless to whatever was going on. That's who I am right now.
Very good. John, it's a pleasure to have you here tonight. We want to talk about the beginning of your musical career. I actually have family who lives in Harlem at 124th and Broadway. And I know that the rap game was the best game in the city of New York. How did you get involved in the business?
I like most people my age, I've been there since the beginning. I had been there beginning. I've watched cats like Grandmaster Flash, Furious 5, and The Treacherous 3. I used to sneak out. There's a 369 Armory that was down the block from my house on like 141st and like 5th Avenue. And I used to go see groups like those guys, Force MCs, when I wasn't even supposed to be there. And I think like most inner city kids, especially males, at the time, hip hop was just something that was it was exciting to everybody. Let me just put that out. We're not excluding the women on women's on this women's special day. But as a man, I seen something that I was very attracted to, and I felt I could do it. So from the origins of it, I was all in. And I had been doing it ever since. Professionally, I got signed in I want to say the late 80s to a record company called Dr. York Records.
Mm-hmm.
Some people may know who Dr. York is. I got signed to that. That was a very, very horrible situation. Years later, in 91, I got signed to Polygram Mercury Records, which was a much better situation. And then I continued on, man. I got dropped from the label, but I continued on, and then I'm here today talking to y'all.
Very good, very good. Okay, Renee, go right ahead with a question.
Well, one, let me just say this, John. The fact that you mentioned that you're a father, you're a single father, and that you include your son, that just definitely warms my heart. Besides, ladies love Cool James. What other hip hop artists that you are just inspired that whenever you hear their music, it's like, oh yeah, this is the man or woman, given the fact it is Women's History Month, and there's some beautiful women in the game.
Okay, well, let's do this. Let's start with the ladies. So if we're gonna go way back in the day, Sha Rock was one of my favorites. Debbie D. And then we move up a little bit. Actually, we move up a lot of bit. And I have to give a shout out to Queen Latifah and MC Lyte, because those two probably were my favorite. MC Lyte was one of my favorites back in the day, and she still is. I'm not gonna say back in the day. I would be remiss to not mention one of the prettiest duos that I used to have a crush on, Salt and Pepper. So all of those ladies, and then I had a crush on all these females. Money Love, Finesse and Sinquist. It was a bunch of them. So all of those ladies have inspired me in some kind of way. Now, if we flip it over to the males, I said the beginning of hip hop. One of my biggest influences, which I talk about in this LL Cool J song, was actually his arch enemy, Kumo D. So Mo D grew up in my neighborhood not far from me, and I had seen him in the Treacherous 3 countless times, and Mo D was a Harlem hero. So he was somebody that in the beginning I idolized and emulated until LL came along. So you know, it's Mo, but LL and Master Ace happen to be my biggest influences.
Wow. I actually had the pleasure of interviewing Cool Mo D, and he's just a really, really great guy. Just laid back, chilled, you know, much like yourself. And for him to have had the influence he had, you would never expect him to be as chilled and relaxed as he was.
He is an awesome dude. I've come to be very good friends with him to this day. He's like a big brother. Every year on my birthday, he gives me a call and he said, "Yo, I want to wish you a happy birthday. I bet LL didn't call you."
I love it. I do. So let me ask you this. Do you have connections to LL, or did you do the song in hopes that, you know, because it is really a nice song. It really is.
Thank you. I have no connections to LL. I've met him in New York in passing. I've seen him at a couple of shows. I do not know him personally, but he was a big influence in my life as far as hip hop goes. And it wasn't something I did out of, oh, let me do this and see if LL see it. And nah, it was strictly, if I could be completely honest, it was the last song on my new album. And I was sitting around thinking, dag, I need something else. And when I thought about what the album is about, it was very fitting that it had been this particular song.
Very good. Let me ask you this. Now, what does the J.T.S. stand for?
James Todd Smith.
Oh, very good. See, I didn't even get that. See there? I didn't even get that.
I did.
Well, we know you. You know, we know. You the one was excited to know it was about LL. So very good. So let me ask you this. In the music game, you were around when this all took off, and now our music is so much different. I feel as if our music, the message is not what it was many years ago. What do you feel about today's rap music?
Okay, I don't want to get on here and sound like the old 53-year-old man complaining about these kids. But here's the reality of it. There's in my time and in our time, there was some good stuff and there was some bad stuff. And I think that it's the same now. There's people who I love listening to. I am a big fan of Drake. I'm a big fan of J. Cole. I think both of them are amazing artists. You know, there's a few other people that are underground that people don't know about. There's a cat named Odyssey, a guy named Nick Grant, who I think are very, very talented artists. But of course, along with the good, there's always the bad. I don't want to sit around and be like throwing stones at anybody. I think the business has become great where anybody can get in and do their thing. And if you have a talent, you know, if you have a belief and a dream, go ahead and do that, man. I love some things I don't, and I don't have to listen to it. That's the right.
Yeah, I think we are all at that age where if it's not what we want to listen to, we don't listen to it. But I've just interviewed countless people, you know, who feel as if the music is influencing the young people. But I want to say the music influenced us, you know, in our times too. It spoke to our times.
It did. And our parents. Here's the thing that I would say. My son is 7 years old, and my son can tell you who the Fat Boys are. He can name all the Fat Boys. He knows Houdini. He knows LL. He knows Run DMC. And if you have a problem with what the kids are listening to, show them something else. Help them listen to something else. And most kids are willing to learn, especially when they're young and they're they're impressionable. They want to follow behind their parents. If you're a good parent, my son wants to what I want to listen to. So he knows Funky Beat and he knows Sucker MCs. He knows all that stuff.
Very good. Well, I'm like Kay Renee. I want to commend you on being a single dad too. I was looking at your social media today, and I think that is the most ingenious idea for a black dad and his son to communicate with the world. So we want to applaud you on that, brother. It's just that's special, and we need to see more of that.
Yo, if you don't mind, I want to quote the late great Charlie Murphy on this, man. And I feel the same way he felt. I feel like I don't need to get accolades for something that I should be doing. This as a man, I don't need people to be like praising me for being a father. It's sad that that has to happen today, especially in our community, that we got to sit around and be like, yo, man, kudos to you for taking care of your son. I don't need no kudos for doing something I'm supposed to be doing. But I understand what you're saying. So I respect and I accept it.
Yes, great job. Really great job. But you're absolutely right. You are. And you really are an example. More men need to hear that. Wouldn't you agree, Kay Renee?
Absolutely, without question. And I actually wanted to ask you, since you've been in the hip hop game for over 30 years, talk to us about the business side. I mean, you're definitely artistic in that way, and that's great. But you don't hear enough of men who and women who are in hip hop talking about the business side of it. And what do you think that needs to happen? And how has it changed from the time that you came in till now?
Okay. There's two parts of it. I'll say this: the business side has changed for the good and the bad. One, I love to see all of these young kids out here making music in their rooms and actually putting it out to the world and not having to deal with a record company, building their brands in their houses and able to go out and command, $100,000, $200,000 to do a show because they have built up their audience.
Yep.
The flip side to that is it's hard to do something like that. It seems like there's a lot of people doing it, but it's not. And back when I was coming up, and let's take the golden era. Let's not take the beginning with Flash and them because they were getting jerked. Right. And even the 90s era, some of us got jerked, but you had the machine working for you. So it wasn't as hard. If you had a great album and you had a great show and you were a talent, you had this machine pushing you. So it wasn't as hard it was hard to get in, but it wasn't, if you get what I'm saying. You didn't have onus on you.
Right.
So that it's kind of like a double-edged sword. But I do commend all of these young brothers and sisters out there that are able to build this buzz and build their brand and not have to be like, well, you have to do a record with this person. Back in the 90s, it was so many A&Rs telling us, well, you have to do this or you got to do this way. Today, they have took out all of that middleman and able to make this money on their own and not anybody. So kudos to them.
Yep, you're absolutely right, brother. You're absolutely right. Well, with this being Women's History, did we lose you?
I'm here.
That's okay. That's all right. I want to talk about the song. It really is a nice song. How long did it take you to put it together? Video and all is really great. So what was the process of that?
Okay, so like I mentioned earlier, I work at Goodyear that does tires, and I do a job called battery attendant. And the battery attendant is the guy who puts in all of the batteries when the forklifts come. Once I put in the batteries, I have so much free time to write. So I write a lot of my whole last two albums was written at work. I was sitting around and I was listening to the album and I came across this track that this guy sent me. And I was like, man, this is perfect. This is what I need. And I probably wrote the song in 30 minutes because I've been so invested, and I don't want to sound like a stalker. I've been so invested in the life of LL that what I wanted to say was very easy for me to express. So it keeps it very easy on my as a younger man, my fascination, as a teenager, my wow, this guy, and then as an older man, idolization and respect for somebody who has such a long history and longevity in the business, that was able to take it from rap to movies, to TV, to books, to just a great family man, all of that. So it was easy for me to put the pen to paper and do that.
Man, that's incredible. It really is. It really, really is. With this being Women's History Month, and we try to ask each and every one of our guests with what is going on in the world now, with the war, we're coming out of a pandemic. What words of wisdom and advice would you want to leave with this audience tonight?
Okay. Again, I mentioned earlier, I'm 53. And at 53, you would think, why are you rapping, sir? Why? Now, it's not like I'm 53 and I just got into rap. So let's clarify.
Right.
That's right. That's right.
So what I will say, and I think this is very cliche, but I believe in it in my whole heart, that no matter what anybody tells you, no matter what society makes you feel they want to age out guys like me because, oh, you shouldn't be rapping at 53. Believe in yourself. Always continue to go for your dreams. Don't let anybody deter you, because those people who are saying you can't do it is because they couldn't do it. So they stopped believing in themselves and they didn't pursue whatever goal or dream they had. So they want to, excuse me, SHIT on your stuff.
That's right. That's right.
So believe in what you're doing. Never let anybody deter you from what you want. And my motto is always, don't be smart, be genius. Because a lot of people are smart, but there's not a lot of geniuses out here.
Pass the collection plate. Amen, Pastor. Look, pass the collection plate. Look, he brought that sermon home. He did. Okay, Renee, what do you want to say to our guest before we get all of his information on how to find it? Look, everybody's saying the same thing. You did a good job on that, brother. You did. That was well said. That was well said.
Besides your son, and besides Ladies Love Cool James, and maybe a few other people, who inspires you, John O, to be the best? As you're now, this is another chapter for you, as you're in a different season. But who inspires you now? And actually, I'll take it from Art. What's next for you?
Yep.
Okay. So, inspire me now. People that inspired me have continued to inspire me. One of my first, my mother. I have to give my mother the love. But one of the biggest influence in my life, and this is why I think people need to be more of these, was my sixth grade teacher, Dr. Eugene Fector, who has, and I'm still friends with this man to this day, who had instilled in me. He was the first person who allowed me to rap in class.
Wow.
At 10 minutes before the class to end, he would be like, yo, John Ollie, you can come up here and you can rap to the kids. And because of that, I was able to do it in front of crowds. So He's always been inspiration for me to this day. But of course, we're going to say LL, and another person who is in the industry who is a very big influence to me, Michael Bivens from New Edition.
Okay.
Yeah. Also, who's become a very big, a good friend of mine, and then I get inspired by everyday life, like things I see. My son is very inspiring. At 7 years old, he looks at life like we don't look at life anymore. So when I watch him and see how he does things, it's inspiring from a 7-year-old, and I love it. What's next? I dropped an album called The Making of John Ollie on April 2nd, which is my father's birthday. who isn't in here anymore. I never knew my father. Um, he died when I was 2, and this album is a very uh, touching album for me. I
Okay.
went to places where I didn't usually go. So April 2nd is his birthday, and I'm putting this out on April 2nd. So that's what's next. I got a couple of film or television, not film, projects possibly in the works. So there's that's what's up. But April 2nd, the making of John Ollie.
Very good. Now, how
Wow.
can people find you, follow you? The one thing we do on this show is encourage people to support. There you go. I love it. All right. So that's Instagram, right? That's
Right.
Instagram. Very good. So you guys follow him at John Ollie on Instagram. Wonderful videos with his son, all the information about what he's doing. Definitely check him out. Yep, everybody start following him. Yep, that's what you need to do. Well, listen, we appreciate you taking time out of your schedule to hang out with us. Anytime you want to come back, we're here for you. We cannot wait to April 2nd for that release. I'm going to go to iTunes and get the song, the current song. But brother, we want to just to tell you to stay encouraged, keep doing great work, and we hope to see you again.
Absolutely.
I I thank you both for allowing me time on your platform to talk about this and discuss this. I would like to I would like to say I'd like to say this. Yeah, wow. I feel like I'm getting a little choked up because I was talking about that doggone album and my father.
Oh,
But
that's
let me
all right. We
That's
understand.
okay.
We understand.
I want to say this. I appreciate, out of the pandemic, and I don't know how long you've been doing this, but out of the pandemic has come some great things and great people who are doing great things. So I wish both of you the most utmost respect and greatness and continued blessings to both of y'all and both of y'all lives and moving forward in whatever you guys do. So thank you for this.
Pleasure, brother.
Oh,
I've had a long media career, but the pandemic had to make us pivot, and we
Right.
decided to start a show in our home. We didn't care how many people watch, we didn't give a damn, and we've been faithful now for what almost 2 years of doing this. During the pandemic, we believed in giving people the health update. We believed in a little gossip, entertainment, and then we believed in presenting amazing people like yourself to our audience. And that's how this all started.
Well, thank you once again. And again, I have to apologize for the lighting. I I I had to run out of work because I thought we was doing this yesterday,
Oh,
and
right. We were. It was a mess up. No, you did a great job. Look, we've had celebrities on here where the babies was crying. They had to get up, answer the telephone. We done had dogs barking doing it. We are everyday regular people that want to show people we love them, appreciate them, and we thank you for what you do.
well,
amen.
thank you. I appreciate it. And yes, and look out for the album April 2nd. Follow me at John Ollie. And you type in my name, John Ollie Nelson. I'm probably the only John Ollie out there. Well, I'm not. I'm the only black John Ollie that y'all will
Oh,
find.
right, right. You're right. That is that right. Not many black dudes named John Ollie. So you are right. Very good. Well, God bless you, brother. Have a great evening. Thank you so much for being here. They love you. They think right. Very good job. Thank you. We'll talk to you again soon. Okay. All right. Have a wonderful
Bye,
night.
John.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye. Very good.
Bye.
Oh, that was excellent. That was so good. He was a great guy.
Wow.
Very nice.
Yes, he
Yes.
is.
Yeah, I love that. I
Yes,
just
he.
love people who are humble, people who are, just he spoke truth about everything that he said, and to do that album in a homage to his dad. You know what I'm saying? So that's
That's
incredible.
cool.
It really is. Yes. All right. Well, Kay Renee, we've come to the end of yet another week,
I
another great
know.
show. And oh my God, what a great way to end the week. You know what I'm saying?
I tell you.
Yes, absolutely. Well, let's get that nugget of knowledge going, and then we'll close out tonight's show. Go right ahead, my darling.
Well, as you know, just like yesterday, all of my nuggets are from powerful women, and this one is no uh, exception. And she says, we realize the importance of our voices only when we are silenced. And that is by Malaya Yusufi. And for those who may remember Miss Maleha, she is the youngest female to win the Nobel Peace Prize. She's an
you talking about
activist.
Malala Yousafzai?
Malaya, yes.
Yes,
and so
yes.
she's just powerful. And remember, your voice is your strength. Never forget that.
Oh my God. For more information about this amazing woman and delivering that message, go to karensnuggetsofknowledge.com, karensnuggetsofknowledge.com. Thank you guys so much for joining us this week. We have more great shows planned for you next week. A lot of exciting women will be stopping by. We have Dr. Janice Seabrook that'll be in to see us, I think, on Monday night. We'll have our monthly doctor's visit. We'll also meet a couple of business pioneers next week as well, too. I even think we may have a guest from Shark Tank on. Shut your mouth.
Not the Tank that I watch every Friday
Shark
night.
Tank, baby. I love Shark Tank. I do too.
Oh, me too.
That's I just love
That's homework.
Yep, the things that people pitch, I just love and adore it. I really do.
That's an entrepreneur's homework assignment that you must see Shark Tank every Friday night at 8 o'clock.
That's right. Well, unless you doing something else, but okay.
Well,
Yeah, All right. Well, on behalf of Kay Renee and yours truly, Art Chat Daddy Sims, thank you guys so much for watching us tonight. We appreciate you. For more information about yours truly, please go to therealchatdaddy.com, therealchatdaddy.com, and get more information there. Be safe. Stay safe. Monday, I'll make the big announcement about an event here in Chicago that's going to be March 27th that you guys will want to attend if you're in the Chicagoland area. Limited tickets.
Don't forget, guys, you got to spring forward on Sunday.
Spring forward on Sunday,
Put
yes.
that clock an hour ahead. Otherwise, you're going to be late on Monday.
That's right. As well as make sure you check the batteries in your smoke detectors.
Yes.
Your smoke detectors and your CO2 detectors. Make sure you check those batteries to make sure they're working the way they should. All right. Well, we love you guys so very much. Thank you for being here tonight. Kay Renee, stay out of trouble, my love.
I will definitely try my best, Chat Daddy.
See you later. Bye, everybody. Good night. Bye. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and